Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. Priscilla here for another day of hashtag Go Ask Alice JJ. That is a ongoing month-long craft with me type challenge hosted by Audrey at Odds and Ends and Mystic Dawn Art, where you get your Alice junk journal stuff out and you make a journal. But I didn't have time to make a journal, so we're making a folio. And this is part 3, so we haven't seen the first 2 parts. I guess I should make a playlist. By now I should have a playlist, yeah? Yeah, it feels like I should have a playlist. So I'll put a little playlist together so you guys can see all that together in one place. Starting now. So you can follow the process, but it's in previous videos, so look. It's over there. You know what I mean? So, so far we have done our cover. We've done the inside, basically just getting sort of the bones in place. We have our little spinning component here. I have a hinge that needs to get built. I have a little policy envelope type closure here, which frees out this little, like, flip out bit, which is very tense because I just glued some washi tape and stuff down. So, like, you know, there's some stuff and things in here to consider as we go on. Also, I think I folded this too quickly, so we'll work it out. I stuck this down all wonkety crookedy. Look at that. That's crazy. So yeah, there's some stuff to work on to polish up for the final product, but we're gonna get there together as a family. But yeah, this is what we got. So we got some more stuff to add in here. If you remember from the first video, I showed you guys these little inserts that I wrote on and then smudged on that I get from like cat food containers. So I didn't forget about those. Those are definitely going to get used. I'm going to make a pocket probably this way so it's easier to get out here. And then I did think about putting one here, but then I don't want it to like catch on that whenever you pull something out. So maybe we'll do it on the inside of this one and have a little pocket here. So yeah, we're going to make 2 pockets. I was trying to use both of the inserts, but I'm only going to get one in here. Because your girl didn't factor in a lot of things when she was putting this together, but we are factoring them together now. So there is a sort of a limited amount of space, and it is going to be pretty chunky by the time we're done, because we also have a little hinge here that needs a page, so I'm going to make the page for this too. That's what we're going to do today. So let's do that first before I get too far into it. Wow, hold on. Okay, so it's so crazy. It's been cloudy and cold and chilly and stuff all weekend. And then the sun literally just came out. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And apparently everybody has decided to come out with the sun. Wait, let me see our folio so I can match up a nice insert. I think I'm going to do the pockets in the rest of that green paper, which gives us a little bit of flexibility. Ooh, oh, do we want to do a black and white page? I feel like that's going to get covered up, though, by whatever we decorate it with. Maybe the pattern's a little bit simpler, and so I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything when I glue stuff on top of it. Yeah, I think that'll be a good one. But yeah, apparently in the 5 minutes of sunshine we have, everybody just came out of their houses all at once. Okay, so what I know is that this is 6 inches tall, and I probably should have cut it in a little bit here at an angle. Oh, my finger's not in frame, so I should have cut it here and here at a little angle, and I could probably still do that to make it a little bit easier to get the final result on. But what I don't want is for it to be flush with the other side. So, because I don't want it to be all the way up here to the edge. I want it to be, you know, here-ish. And maybe even a little bit there-ish. So that, I can make like a pocket inside of it as well. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut it down at 6 inches. That's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to go from there. Because I know that at least one side needs to be 6 inches high, because it is going to span the entirety of everything. So I'm going to cut it to 12 first to get rid of this little extra hole punched bit. And then I'm going to cut at 6. I don't need to cut both. There's no reason to cut two. You only need one. Okay, so the opening for the pocket is going to go on this side. I see the error I just made. It just means moving the pattern around. It doesn't, no it doesn't. Hold on. I've confused my own brain. Well, I mean the pattern will move, yes. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, Priscilla. As long as one side is 6 inches and it's the open side, that's what matters. And there will be 2 open sides when we're done, so it'll be fine. We're going to score at 1/2 inch for right nowsies. And then again at 1/2 inch. I'm not going to worry about the orientation of this paper because the leaves are going in all sorts of directions. Fold this in, fold this in. Oh, I really didn't worry about it. I see what I've done. I see what I have done now. Because this is the open side. And the side that I scored is the long side. So, what's the solution to this problem that you created by being impulsive? Go away, Gesso, that is not the solution. Well, the solution is just stick it down and say fuck it, right? I mean, I can cut off this little extra flap, that's not a big deal. And then I just conclude the bottom. We can make it a top-loading pocket. Okay, alright, ha 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 ha. I figured it out. It is fine. Do not crash out. Work with me. Okay, yes. Okay. Problem solved. So ideally, if you wanted it to be a side-loading pocket, you would cut it a 1/2 inch longer on one side. So it'd be 6.5 by 6 instead of 6 by 6. That's what I did wrong. Cutting. And I will not be trusting my goblin fingers with this procedure because they do not cut straight lines. Ask me how I know. So yeah, there we go. So then what we are going to do is glue here on our little flap. And then glue that down and listen to this guy's conversation outside, because apparently the only way we can talk to people outside is by shouting. I think he's on the phone. I didn't go eavesdrop, but like the tone of this conversation is so loud that either he's talking to somebody directly in front of him or he is on the phone. But I have yet to hear the second voice. You guys let me know when you hear it. Okay. Folio. Well, I guess the good news is I don't have to worry about trimming off the extra part because I don't have to slide it in there because I'm just going to glue it down like this. I am going to make sure I don't go like right up into the inside here because that will also impact things and stuff and things. But I'm going to glue it on top this way. Wait, back in frame, Priscilla. Sorry, I know that I come this way. And that's probably really annoying. I am going to trim off this little overhangy bit from where I was imprecise. It's not a big deal, but It's enough that I can see it, and since I cut it, I am going to ink it just quickly. Okay. So it'll probably be easier to judge the distance on this side and then do the back side instead of trying to line it up on the other side first. So that is how we're going to do it. I've got way too much glue, so I'm going to wipe off some of the excess there. More so that I can see where the line is. And then just sort of line it up with our little flap there. Get that down, flip it over, make sure that it's sticking where it needs to. And then it is a barely perceptible notice, but again, this is how I operate because I can see this. So I'm just going to cut that back. And then we're going to free it and then trim it off. And then to make this a top loading pocket, I'm going to glue on the bottom and then on the little flap here. Trying to think. The last time I think I made a little folio like this was the one that I made for Lori at Pewdie Pie Designs. I made that little gothic-y Christmas number folio. I think that's the last time. So that's been a couple months since I've folioed. Folio-dude. Isn't that weird? Because it sits in here perfectly straight. And then when you flip it this way, it's like, what if I just sort of encroached into the atmosphere? So that tells you I didn't glue it down perfectly even, but like, as long as it sits in here even, that is what matters. So we have a page in our folio, so it'll go closed. And I am beginning to rethink putting in a pocket right here, at least of this thickness, because this is a bit of a work to close. So maybe we'll have to rethink our approach to pockets. Maybe we can put one on this guy instead of on the inside of there. Come on now. I did this so many times. So this will be like this, and then we have a pocket page and then another page to go into our folio, and then we'll have like a cool little thing up top. Wait, is my cover not even? Is that the problem? Or maybe I just need to work it better. Okay, no, that is better. Oh, it's all very crunchy. Okay, don't overthink it right now. It's fine. It's fine. And then we're going to cut this down so we can start making a pocket. The only thing is that for this side, I would have to cut it down to this measurement. But yeah, I think that'll work. We can do a pocket here and a pocket on the back. So let's make some decisions so we can back this and get them in there. Yeah. Stretch. Wait, this is the one that I wrote on. There it is. 3 inches is a good size for a pocket. Especially since the page is 6 inches. And then this guy, cut to 3 inches as well. And I'll just put this little strip in the scraps. And then it needs to be how long? 5.5. Okay. I knew that. I knew that. So we'll take a 1/4 inch off each side. I was there when you cut it all, Priscilla. 1/4 inch. And then I think, just because I don't like this shape and don't want to spend a lot of time trying to reconcile it, I'm just going to chop off that little extra bit so that we have a square pocket, which I should do for the other one as well. I don't want to. Maybe I'll just round it so it also is rounded in the same regard. Yeah. Should do that after. No, do it before. Don't punish your corner rounder. Now. Okay. So, back to the paper. And if you were the paper pad, you would be nowhere. Apparently. Where did it go? Is it just because I'm not spinning my chair around enough? Yes, it is. I found it. Okay. So we do have this to work with, and that's pretty. That would work. And then maybe that green one. Where's the green? I swear I just had it, and I was like, this will be great for the pocket. Hold on, let me get on my own nerves off camera. I found it. I put it with all the digitals that I printed. Ooh, I just realized that they're the same but different. Okay, love that for us. This is the big one. So I'm going to put this side down. Otherwise I'll drive myself insane. This is a really good way to use up stuff too. You know, like recycle packaging and stuff, and then also use up some papers that I just haven't used because they sitting here in the stash forever and ever and ever. This is why you shouldn't write on the shiny side. So yeah, I am glad to be able to get in here and use up some of this stuff. This is good because it'll go with the page. It's the backing interior piece or whatever you could call it. It's the opposite side of the paper. It's the back. Those are the words. Yeah, after this I have to do some of my weekend meal prepping for the week. I don't feel like it, so that's why I'm still recording. Because I was supposed to only do the first half and then be like, okay, go do your meal prep stuff. But then I was like, what if I did one more part and then did all the meal prepping? But I know I have to, because if I don't, then I will eat like garbage all week, and I don't want to eat like garbage all week. Because when I eat like garbage, I feel like garbage. It's such a crazy, unique concept, and if only science understood what caused this unique phenomena that happens only to me and nobody else and isn't relatable at all. It's just one of those like things that's like super straightforward and logical, and you're like, if only I had done the thing that made the most sense as, you know, humanly possible at the time, except instead I chose to be a trash man and just like eat trash because you know, circumstances. And not to say, like, that's always necessarily a bad thing. You should definitely treat yourself and have fun with, like, food and stuff. And not beat yourself up for not having, like, the time or the energy to get as much stuff done as you want. But, like, you know, for me, personally, I have to, make sure all that stuff is prepared in advance. Otherwise, it just doesn't get done. Because I can't be like, oh, yeah, I can just, you know, meal prep tomorrow and have, like, one day where I won't, like, eat right. You know, I'll have garbage for one day. No, no, no. Because if I don't do it on the assigned day, it doesn't happen. I can keep telling myself I'll do it on the other days. And I might do, like, some component. You know, like, I might do, like, my yogurt. But I will never do the full meal prep if I don't do it on the day that is preordained. The day that was set in stone. It'll never come back around. So there's no, like, redemption arc for me midway through the week where I can be like, oh, well, you didn't do it this day because you were tired, but at least you made up for it on Monday or Tuesday. Nope. Nope, I will eat like garbage the entire week and then be like, man, if only I meal prepped something, I wouldn't have to eat like this. And then I'll just, like, hork back a bunch of breakfast tacos, bean and cheese burritos or something. Not that those are necessarily the worst things you could eat, but there's better food. You know? But I guess, too, there is a slight advantage to being a vegetarian, because choosing the vegetarian option is usually choosing the healthier option. Not always, because carbohydrates are mostly vegetarian. And that is where I find myself most of the time. Is being like, well, if I get the pasta and the bread and the thing, then I have eaten entirely vegetarian. A vegetable, you say? No, none shall pass my lips. And then, you know, we're back to feeling like garbage because we just chose to not do the things. Although, it's really funny, when I worked at the grocery store, I worked with two vegans who would, always talk about being vegan, but it was one of those things where I was like, are you sure you're vegan? Because I feel like there's a fried chicken in your bag of fried potatoes. But they also lived off of carbs and then would, like, show me the plates of foods that they made, and I'd be like, there's not a single piece of green on your entire plate. And not like in a judgmental way, but in a very confused sort of way where I was like, that is rice, potatoes, corn, just every starch in the universe, and it looks like a bit of, like, cornbread or something, and just not nary a vegetable. Nary a vegetable. And, like, I joke about not having vegetables pass my lips, but it's only certain vegetables that I feel that way about. Like, I love cucumbers and onions and bell peppers, tomatoes. Like, I will eat those all day, every day. I love those so much. I even like romaine lettuce, give or take on spinach. It is a lot of the green vegetables that I have issues with, that I don't want to eat. I don't like broccoli that much. I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. I don't like root vegetables unless they're, like, cooked, or pickled. Then I like them. I like green beans. I like peas. Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. Those kind of things. But it's cruciferous vegetables and root vegetables that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But, you know, like, I eat a vegetable. I have a vegetable every day, at least, you know, but I eat a lot of beans. That's where all my carbs come from. Because I love beans. But, Daddy, I love them. Sorry, I'm looking for the little sandpaper round that I pulled off of the distress tool. Oh, I found it. So that I can get the edges. Just to make sure that, like, because this is glossy, like a glossy top-coated paper. So just to make sure that the glue sticks to something. But at any rate, yeah, they didn't, they hardly ever ate vegetables. And then when we were like, oh, well, what about this? Or, like, have you tried, like, zucchini or squash? Like, I'm not a big squash fan either. So I don't eat a lot of squash. Occasionally I'll get, like, a wild hair to have, like, spaghetti squash or something like that. And I'll eat squash. Like, if you hand me a fried zucchini, I will eat it. I'll even eat it if it's the side vegetable with dinner. But otherwise, I'm not like seeking it out. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, they wouldn't. They were like, nope, hate those, can't eat those, don't like those, like all the time. So I was like, what do you eat? And the answer was carbohydrates, which is not good for you. So like, I understood why they didn't feel well frequently. So then when I became a vegetarian, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a vegetable or two every so often. Although my doctor's like, have a cruciferous vegetable, and I'm like, get cauliflower away from me, you rotten individual. Because the only way I will eat cauliflower is if it is deep fried and covered in buffalo sauce. Because I do like a cauliflower wing. But I do not like cauliflower in any other format. I feel like cauliflower ruins everything it's in. I like cabbage, though. I'll eat a fair bit of cabbage. I haven't found a cabbage I don't like. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about the stuff I eat. Oh, because I was talking about meal planning. But yeah, but if I don't make my food, then yeah, I nary a vegetable. We are all potatoes and cheese until the end of time. Okay, so again, the sanding was just to make sure that it sticks well, so that the glue gets like contact with the actual backing and not just the glossy top coat. And then we can glue our pockets in. So these will be all the pockets that we will need for this little folio. I'm trying to get it as centered as possible. So we'll have a nice little pocket tuck spot here in the front cover. And then we'll have a top loading pocket, and then on the back we'll have a little top loading pocket. And then we'll have our little flip in here. So I gotta decide what's gonna go in there. It's gotta be something flat, so maybe just something decorative. Or like a little journaling spot or something. Because yeah, this side is bulky. Okay, I like that. These look good together. That's a really good combo. And then I like seeing these together. Like, same pattern, different colors. I like that a lot. I do like when scrapbook pads do that. Then we can do something here. Make a little tag or something to go in here. And then in here, we've got space to do something like probably journaling related right here, I think is a good idea. And then we can put something like a little decoration here, something like along these lines. I'm not thinking anything super complicated, but you know, we can do like another one of those little Alice characters or something. And then in here, we gotta figure this out, because I realized that when I stuck this paper down, I didn't stick it into the spine that I created. So there's actually like a little bit of distorted lift, because I can see right here where I started to smooth it, and I guess I stopped at some point to do something else, which is fine. It doesn't like impact the final product, you know, but it is it's a little tight here, so I have to think about that. That's why this is like in, and then this is all wow. So we want to maybe put another journaling thing here, and then something here, or like a small pocket here or something. I don't know. I gotta think about it, what I want my final results to look like. And then, because I added the washi tape, I'm definitely going to come back and add something to the back to cover up this little two spot here, because that is not going to work for me. So we'll probably do like a big card or something back here, and then we're going to do our cover piece. So, yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do next time. Not the cover piece yet, I think, because that's going to be a lot of stuff, because I do want it to be kind of fun. But we'll start filling this up on the inside and get that all squared away. And then we'll just do the back and front on the last one. And then we'll be done. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, you guys. That's all I got for you right now. I know it wasn't super exciting. It was just putting some pockets in place. But hey, we got to talk about vegetables for a bit, and that counts for something. So I will come back for the next hashtag Go Ask Alice JJ, hosted by Audrey at Odds and Ends and Mystic Dawn Art. And definitely check them out, see what they did over there. And until next time, guys, I appreciate your faces. Happy crafting and goodbye.